Stoicism is a practical philosophy that aims to help people live meaningful lives and become their best selves. The Stoics believe that living a virtuous life could bring us personal happiness and fulfillment. That is one of the reasons why a person may choose to live according to their fashion. After all, what is the point of philosophy if it doesn't ultimately lead to happiness? But according to Stoic philosophy, the pursuit of virtue and good character is what gets us there. The pursuit of virtue is the pursuit of happiness. A good life will follow if we can live virtuously. Can Stoics, on the other hand, be happy? Yes, the Stoics can be happy as well as experience the full range of emotions. They can be happy, sad, angry, or intense without hiding behind expressionless faces. The Stoics experience emotions as they are given to them by nature, but they do not become overwhelmed by them. Stoic happiness, rather than pleasure, is the essence of living a good and meaningful life. With that in mind, here are some Stoic principles that can assist us in becoming better, happier people. 1. Stop worrying about what you can't control. Stoicism is based on the premise that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control how we react to it. Stoics remind themselves that in life, there are things over which we have no control, things over which we have partial control, and things over which we have complete control. The only way to have peace in our lives is to accept it, let go of what we can't control, and then focus on what we can. What don't we control? We have no control over the outside world, other people, nature, our genetics, or the past. Our unhappiness arises in large part from believing that we have control over things we don't. In some ways, it's like arguing with reality, and it's at the heart of many, if not most, of our problems. So, if we want to move forward in our lives, we must first accept that there are some things over which we have no control. 2. Focus on what you can control. What do we have control over if we can't control the world, external events, or other people? According to the Stoics, the only two things over which we have complete control are our thoughts and actions. We have no control over the world around us, but we do have control over how we respond to it through our judgments and reactions. Things will happen in life that we cannot control, but it's our perceptions of events followed by how we respond to them that determine whether they're good or bad. For the Stoic, the most important practice is to distinguish between the two and then focus on what we can control: our judgments, voluntary actions, and choices. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can choose how we perceive it and how we respond and react to it. That is where our strength lies. Of course, understanding this dichotomy is only one aspect of it. We must also keep in mind, the more we remind ourselves of this, the less fear and anxiety we will experience, and the easier it will be for us to invest our energy and efforts in becoming the people we want to be. 3. Think about death. We're all aware that we will die at some point, but we live as if our lives will last forever. As a result, we waste a lot of time doing things that are unimportant and do little to nothing to move us in the right direction. We waste time and then complain about not having enough of it. Death looms over our heads at all times, with each passing second. The truth is that life is only long enough for us to do what's important to us. It's brief because there's no time to waste. Our time on this planet is finite. We'll never be able to reclaim our time. As a result, we must not waste it on fantasies or the unnecessary. We must allow the thought of death to change our relationship with time if we want to be happy. Allow it to teach us to be fully present in the moment and to make the most of every opportunity. The reality is that wasting time shortens one's life. The one thing you can never get back is time. As a result, you must manage your time wisely. So, think about death. Allow it to define who you want to be, and then let it drive you to take the right actions, making the most of every opportunity to become the person you want to be. To be the people we want to be, we must regularly reflect on our mortality. Only by understanding that our lives will end one day can we learn to truly live them. 4. Want less. Learning to want less is one of the most important lessons in Stoicism. Most people believe that acquiring more of something leads to happiness. We believe that having more of something such as success, money, fame, talent, time, or possessions is the way to go. We believe that once we accomplish these goals, our problems will be solved, and we'll be able to finally be content with our lives. The problem is that our insatiable desire for more only complicates our lives. We allow ourselves to become slaves to our own desires. However, the inverse is also true. According to the Stoics, we can liberate ourselves by simply wanting less. If you go through life expecting everything you want, you will be constantly disappointed and will never find happiness. It's far better to accept things as they are, appreciate what you have, and then make the most of it. Yes, it's acceptable to desire certain things such as the necessities for a comfortable, thriving life, and it's also acceptable to have dreams, aspirations, and goals. You should strive to better yourself and your circumstances, as well as to create a better life for yourself and your loved ones. 5. Simplify your life. Stoicism is fundamentally about simplicity. It's all about simplifying your life in every way and living simply. The Stoics teach that what matters most in life is what we can't control, our character. This is where our ability to create happiness comes from. We must first recognize that the only thing we truly require for happiness is ourselves. Yes, there's some basic necessities that we require, but most of us have cluttered our lives with things we don't require. What we can do is eliminate everything that isn't absolutely necessary. We instinctively think of clearing material things first, but it's not only material things that must be cleared, but also our thoughts and actions. There are numerous strategies available across the philosophical and self-improvement spectrums that can be used to create happiness in our lives. Stoicism doesn't claim to have all the answers, nor does it claim to be able to tell you exactly how to be happy. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us that we are personally responsible for our happiness and that it's up to us to create happiness through our actions. Stoicism teaches us to accept, embrace, and make the best of our circumstances. It teaches us to view happiness as a process similar to self-improvement and the pursuit of our higher selves. Only by going through this process will we be able to take the necessary steps to become the people we want to be and ultimately create the happiness we seek.